In the early 70s, we embarked on a US tour. We were there, the equipment was there, the road managers were there, ready to go. But Richie fell ill. He came down with jaundice and was carted straight off to hospital. Now we were sort of stuck. So we tried to get a replacement guitarist in to try and fulfill at least some of the shows. The first guy we talked to was a wonderful man called Al Cooper, who came along for a little rehearse, and that was fine and dandy, but didn't work out. So he suggested we get in touch with Randy California, another wonderful guitarist. Any of you who don't know who Randy California was, I suggest you check out a band called Spirit. They were prog rock before anybody thought of the name prog rock. If you want to hear something special by him, find an album called The Best of Spirit and look for a track called Mechanical World. 50 years later, I still can't work out the time of it. It's a glorious piece of music. And the guitar sound and the guitar solo is still mesmeric. Do yourself a favor and find it. Anyway, Randy came along and played along. And it wasn't Richie, of course not. But he did a good job. We managed one show. Randy realized that whatever we needed, he really wasn't able to provide. Not because it was not good enough, it was just different. And it wasn't generating the same end product. So all that work ended up with one show. And that was basically the end of that tour. But he was a wonderful guy and a fabulous player. And I say, if you don't know about Randy California, check out the track I told you, Mechanical World, and lots of other Spirit stuff. But that one in particular, fabulous piece of music. We lost Randy, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago. We lose all the good ones too early, don't we? Tommy Bolin, what a crazy guy, what a sweet guy. Obviously had his demons, which, to be really honest, we didn't know about at the time. We knew he was out there. We'd just flown over from, I think it was California, to Munich to start the recording of what would become Come Taste the Band. And with the jet lag, you know, we're all pretty much messed up. But we got a friendly medico to prescribe some sleeping pills, nothing crazy, just to help us get over it in a couple of days. So we were ready to record at the right time with the engineers and everybody else. But true to form, we were in the studio checking things out, rehearsal tapes, checking whether we liked the songs we were going to do. Tommy straight down a club, boom. Came back staggering in about 3 in the morning, which to us was about 6 in the evening with the time change. Anyway, he had these two Amazonian, gorgeous German ladies, one on each arm. And he was obviously looking forward to a very adventurous night. Anyway, he just saw these pills on the mixing board. We had one each. And he just scooped up 3 of them and bang! You got pills, great! And then he said, what do these do? I went, oh, Tommy. Well, I said, Tommy, nothing dangerous, but you're going to go to sleep fairly soon. And we'll see you in about 36 hours. And he went, oh, man. He looked across at these 2 gorgeous women. And they're looking at him like he's an idiot. And 2 minutes later, they were gone. And Tommy's starting to yawn. That was the end of his evening. And that was it. We didn't see him for a day and a half. We were very refreshed when we did see him. But that side of his character, 2 years later, was his downfall. But in the studio, he was incredible. When things were under control and he had time to get everything right, his invention, his freedom of playing, sound, the whole thing was wonderful to be part of. But on stage it was a little more difficult. Nowadays, for a guitarist to get echo on stage, it's very easy. You get a little box this size and press a button and the echo comes out, you know. In those days, it was far more difficult. I remember Richie, to get the echo he wanted on stage, used to use a reel-to-reel Japanese machine. Nothing else gave him the sound he wanted. And that had its problems. But Tommy used to use a thing called an Echoplex, which was again a tape recorder, but it worked on a loop of tape, which went round like that. And the distance between the record head and the playback head gave you the echo that you required. These were not the most robust or dependable of units. The tape could break, the tape could stretch, the heads could get dirty, all manner of things could happen. And when that happened to Tommy, he fell to pieces. He didn't have the ability to deal with those situations. And part of the art of being on a big stage when things do go wrong, because they do frequently, hopefully a lot of the times you the audience, don't know it. You have to be able to get through it. You have to bluff your way through, use experience, whatever. You've got to get through it. Tommy couldn't. He just turned into a heap. It was not in his character. God bless him. And we realized that as much as it was fun playing with him, going on stage would always be a liability, because you couldn't depend that he would be able to deal with it when things went wrong. As much as it saddened me when I heard he died, I was sad, but I wasn't shocked. You sort of almost saw it coming. But when he was on song and everything was right, he was a great player and a sweetheart of a guy. Very sad. The wonderful Gary Moore. I had the great pleasure of working with him for a little while and making a couple of nice records. But one evening when we'd had a night off and we were sitting having a meal, we got to talking about our instruments. And I mentioned that when I picked up a pair of, as they were, knitting needles at the time, not drumsticks, and started to play along with what I saw on the television, the drummer doing, I sort of instinctively knew why he was doing what he was doing. I knew why one hand was doing that, another hand was doing that. And I said, I just feel that the really great players have a natural advantage. They have a gift given by nature, which allows them to understand the basics of the instrument. And he said he felt exactly the same. He said when he picked up a guitar for the first time, when he saw the chord shape and he understood the tuning of the guitar, when he saw that it sort of made absolute logical sense to him. And so to move from one shape to another was not difficult. And that immediate ability put him 3 or 4 months ahead of somebody who couldn't do that, who had to look at where the fingers were going. He said he instinctively knew why the shapes made sense, and therefore going to them was not really a big conscious thought process. He just, okay, that goes there, now it goes there. And it was very interesting. It'd be nice to see if any other really good players felt that they had an advantage just through that inherent ability to understand the nature of their instrument. Gary was a wonderful player. Underneath all the bravado and the attitude, a really nice guy, and missed a lot. Music misses him, his friends miss him. Get a chance to see some of his stuff playing and you don't know about him, open your eyes and Wonder. Great player. Great bloke.